Fear is a universal experience. It is a natural response to danger or threat, but sometimes it becomes something much more, something that can limit us and shape our actions in unexpected ways. Fear is deeply tied to our beliefs, our values, and most importantly, our faith. This connection between fear and faith is something I have struggled with, and perhaps you have too. As I reflect on the signs of fear, the reasons we fear, and the underlying cowardice that can stem from a lack of faith, I realize how intertwined these concepts are in the human experience. What are the signs of fear? Fear can be subtle, often creeping into our thoughts and behavior without us realizing it. One of the most noticeable signs is anxiety, with physical symptoms like heart palpitations, shortness of breath, and a tight chest. Fear can also make us feel powerless or out of control, triggering our fight or flight response, which may cause us to freeze or act irrationally. Sometimes, fear manifests in more subtle ways, such as indecisiveness, procrastination, or avoiding situations due to fear of failure, rejection, or judgment. It can also appear as pride or arrogance, masking insecurity and a fear of being judged or exposed. Whether it shows as vulnerability or bravado, fear is complex and often hidden beneath the surface. What shows us if we are truly cowards? We may wonder if we are truly cowards, and the answer often lies in our actions or lack thereof. A coward is someone who lets fear control their life, preventing them from making decisions or taking risks. Cowardice isn't the absence of fear, but the refusal to face it and act despite it. A coward avoids opportunities, shrinks from confrontation, and remains stagnant, avoiding challenges that could lead to growth. One clear sign of cowardice is avoidance, constantly retreating from difficult situations and prioritizing comfort over progress. While fear is natural, true courage is about facing it head-on and moving forward anyway. Cowardice can also show up in our relationships when we fear vulnerability. We build walls around our hearts, afraid of rejection or judgment. In these moments, we show that we are afraid of being hurt, but more importantly, we fear the risks of truly loving and being loved. These signs reveal how fear can paralyze our ability to connect, trust, and give ourselves fully to others. Why do we fear? Fear is a natural survival mechanism, once crucial for protecting us from physical dangers. But today it often arises from psychological threats, fears of failure, rejection, or loss. We fear the unknown, things we cannot control, and the uncertainty of the future. At its core, fear stems from a lack of control, as we cannot predict or influence what lies ahead. Change, whether in careers, relationships, or personal challenges, often triggers fear because of this uncertainty. Fear can also be rooted in past experiences, rejection, failure, or loss, leading to a fear of repeating mistakes or reliving trauma. This cycle of fear can paralyze us, holding us back from pursuing our dreams and stepping outside our comfort zones. Why do we find weakness in cowardice? Cowardice is often seen as weakness because it reflects a lack of strength and resilience. A coward is ruled by fear, unable to rise above challenges or confront difficulties with courage. In a world that values bravery and perseverance, cowardice is viewed as the opposite of these traits. A coward avoids pain and stays in their comfort zone, fearing the discomfort of growth. However, cowardice also reveals a lack of faith. Faith is the foundation of courage, allowing us to trust that we can handle challenges, even without knowing the outcome. Without faith, fear overwhelms us, paralyzing us with doubt and uncertainty. This lack of faith makes cowardice painful, not just because it avoids danger, but because it reflects the belief that we are incapable of handling challenges. When we lack faith in ourselves, others, or a higher power, fear becomes the driving force in our lives, preventing us from moving forward or taking risks. The moment faith wanders away, I am engulfed with fear. When faith fades, fear rushes in. It's in those moments of doubt and uncertainty that I feel most afraid. I become consumed by the what-ifs, the doubts, and the worries that cloud my mind. Without faith, Fear takes over, and I am left paralyzed, unable to move forward or take action. The moment faith wanders away, I lose my anchor, and fear becomes my constant companion. In these moments, I feel like a coward afraid of everything, including of God. This is a terrifying realization. For how can I call myself faithful when I am afraid of the very one who created me? How can I say that I trust God when I am terrified of His judgment, His power, or His wrath? In those times of fear, I question my faith, and I wonder if I am truly loyal to the one I claim to love. I am afraid of everything, including God. We may fear God in two ways: through the fear of His power and wrath, or through the fear of disappointing Him. The fear of the Lord is often misunderstood. To fear the Lord is not to cower in terror, but to hold Him in awe and reverence. It is a deep respect for His majesty, His holiness, and His power. The fear of the Lord is what compels us to live righteously, to avoid sin, and to honor Him in all that we do. But there is also the fear that comes from knowing that we have sinned, from knowing that we have broken His commandments and fallen short of His glory. This fear is the fear of judgment, the fear of the consequences of our actions. It is in this fear that we see the true nature of cowardice, the fear of consequences rather than the fear of offending the one we love. I love the Lord, and that is what drives me to fear Him. Despite my fears, I realize that my love for the Lord is what sustains me. I love Him so much that I do not want to hurt Him. It is not the fear of punishment that motivates me, but the desire to honor Him and protect His heart. I love Him so deeply that I would rather suffer myself than bring pain or disappointment to Him. In this love, I find courage, because my faith in Him outweighs my fear of the consequences. To love the Lord is to fear hurting Him. It is to live in such a way that we seek to honor Him in every action, every word, and every thought. This is not the fear of a coward, but the fear of a faithful servant who desires to please their master, not out of fear of punishment, but out of love and devotion. Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, a sinner. In the end, it is this realization of my own weakness, my own fears, and my own sinfulness that leads me to call out for mercy. Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, a sinner. In my fear, I recognize my need for His grace. It is only through His love and mercy that I can overcome my fears and rise above my cowardice. He is the one who strengthens me, who renews my faith, and who fills me with courage to face the challenges of life. Without Him, I am nothing, but with Him, I am more than a conqueror. As I continue on this journey, I strive to embrace the fear of the Lord, not as a coward, but as a faithful servant, seeking to honor and love Him with all my heart. In this love, I find the courage to face my fears and to live boldly, knowing that He is with me every step of the way. And that's a wrap for today's deep dive into fear, faith, and love. If this resonated with you, make sure to hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe. Whether you're facing fear or growing in faith, we've got you covered. Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. How do you navigate fear in your own life? Stay fearless, stay faithful, and remember, you've got this. Catch you in the next video.